G'day guys, hey, it's John here today. Just a little quick chat on safety gear for shooting a CRPS match or an NRL22X. We'll start off with safety glasses. Depending where you're shooting, safety glasses will be required, and they are a good thing to wear while shooting. A couple of notes on safety glasses. For me personally, I want a set of glasses that doesn't change the colors that I'm seeing. Now, some people may prefer a high contrast type color, and that's fine. There is no right or wrong here. I prefer a scope that has a high contrast versus a lower contrast. But with my glasses, I prefer them to be a very natural color. I also don't want them to be too dark because for me personally, I'd find I can't see quite as well. I don't normally wear glasses, actually. I don't like them. But if it's a really bright sunny day, to take that edge off is a benefit. So a light tint, and these ones happen to be polarized. To me, I don't personally notice a difference between polarized and non-polarized, but it just so happens these are edge and they're polarized lenses. I think on all of theirs pretty much. And I like them. They're a clear, no distortion, and that's very important when you're using them to look through your scope. So a good set of glasses is a must, I would say. Your cheaper Walmart stuff, maybe that works for you, but for me it doesn't. Hearing protection, we got several options. Muffs. If you're shooting center fire, I would feel that muffs are close to a must, not necessarily. But for me, I find that I get sore ears with the muffs, so I will always double up, or pretty much always double up if I'm shooting center fire. And then when I move away from the firing line, I can pull the muffs off and I still have plugs in. Now with the 22 long rifle, you can pop your muffs off when you walk away from the firing line. It's no big deal. The other option you have, of course, is running these Foamies. They're very good at protecting your hearing, but for me, I find them cumbersome. I find them comfortable, but taking them in and out, it's a hassle. So I'm not a big fan of this, but I always carry this little box with me. It's good to have spares in case something happens. Oh yeah, and I should have mentioned on here, these are the electronic muffs. I highly recommend electronic muffs for a match because you want to be able to hear what the RO is saying, or the range officer. You need to hear those instructions when they call time. To be able to hear when somebody calls impact will also help you out, particularly on a stage where you must impact to move to the next target. Another set of hearing protection, and I wear these on the job. These are made by Decibullz. They have a percussive filter, so it's passive hearing protection. When the sound level is low, they don't dampen the sound as much, but then as the sound increases, these will dampen it more. I find they feel very natural. The sound is very natural, more natural than with electronic, and you can still carry on a conversation. But what I have found is these are not quite enough if someone is shooting beside you with a muzzle brake. So I'll tend to wear these. When I'm on the firing line, I'll put the muffs on as well. And then if buddy's got the brake and he's shooting, I don't feel it. I walk away from the firing line, I pull my muffs off, and I still have a good set of hearing protection in, and I can talk to other guys in here. I'll put a link in the description. I did a review on these on my other channel doing tool reviews, and this is what we wear in the crew. I supply them for the guys. We really like them. The Decibullz percussive filter earplugs. Now these are around $100, so they are slightly more than these Impact Sports Muffs. You can't go wrong with either one. I'd say buy something in your budget and don't worry about it if it works for you. Now, chamber flags. Chamber flags, we use them to give a visual indication that our rifle is clear, there's nothing in the chamber. So I have one here. This came with my ACC chassis. Well, actually, all of the orders from MDT recently have come with one. And this here I bought. Here's some weed eater string. This is what I used in the first matches, I should say. It works just fine. Bit of weed eater string, good to roll. Now I'll just pull a rifle over here, and if you've never used a chamber flag before, it's very simple. You just slide the end into your chamber. Now you can't close your bolt, and it's very easy to see. If this is in the chamber, there's nothing there. It's a good way to show safe. The negative to this is if you're on a really dusty match, you get a lot of dirt in here. There is other options that will fill the whole receiver, the port, but you don't need that. This works just fine. Now, a note on the chamber flags. This here works really well because it feeds in like that. It stays nicely. But with the 22 long rifle, a chamber flag like this doesn't work very well. You have to really bend it to get it into the chamber. If you like that, it works good and come out. But I found that the chamber would scrape plastic off with these straighter chamber flags. I really like the MDT chamber flag. It slides in nice and it retains well. And then also these work very well on a center fire. And then this here does not work as well on a center fire because it is it's loose in the chamber, or looser I should say. So that's my observation on chamber flags. But like I said, bit of weed eater string, use your imagination. You can come up with something very simple and cost effective to show your rifle clear. And of course, if you don't have anything, you can still come out to the match. There is generally some at the match for people to use who didn't have one. I always carry spares, so if somebody would happen to need a chamber flag, I would of course loan one to you for the day. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and you have a safe day. Keep shooting straight.